Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 15 of The Kiln. I'm joined with the usual suspects.
What are we suspected of?
Being in the kiln.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the crime.
That's the crime.
What's our sentence?
Then I am guilty.
What's our sentence? Joke's on you, we're gonna bribe them. Or
Bribe them,
Alex,
kill
you
them.
can seduce them.
I will try my fucking hardest. Whether or not we need to or not, I will try.
You have to roll a d20 on performance.
Alright, wait, funny. You're making me do that now?
Yeah.
I rolled a... I don't know what number that is. This tiny dice is so poorly made.
You don't know the number.
It was 12,
Well,
wasn't
It was a 6.
it? Okay.
Yeah, well, that's it.
I don't have a
Now
modifier.
you touch
but...
your dick.
Oh, yay.
Oh.
But like, this dice, instead of having the line underneath a 6 or a 9, it has a full stop.
Oh, mine does that.
Yeah, some of Caleb's did have that.
And it's so the start because I'd use the tiny die, not my pink die.
Oh, okay,
It's so
okay.
small, it looks like an 8.
Yeah.
And the 18 looks scuffed. Yeah, I'll send a picture.
Yeah,
This is
mine's a
the
line.
picture.
But hey, we're talking about 2 years of COVID, I guess. Lockdown,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It was always one of those weird things. Honestly, even just with COVID in general. To be honest, the thing with COVID-19, I always just thought like, oh, it's 19, it's the 19th strand. But it was just because it was from 2019.
Yeah.
The last decade came to bite us in the ass at the last minute.
Yeah.
That's what really happened.
It was all. This decade was doomed the moment they shot her out there.
Yes.
Ever since that
Yeah,
happened, it was just downhill.
Yeah.
And you think it would get worse, but it just literally plummeted after 2020.
Yeah.
Which, I think, was it 2019 where everyone said, like, oh, let's hope that 2020 is a better year.
Yeah.
And then it just fucking wasn't.
And 2020
I mean,
started out so
in
terrible.
Australia,
This country was on fire.
in Australia specifically, it was horrible. Like, we had one of the worst bushfires, and there was also flooding at the same time.
Yeah,
It's like, I remember, like, walking outside one day, and I live in the middle of the fucking city, basically, essentially. I live in a lot more, I live in a concrete jungle, and there's just smoke everywhere.
Yeah.
And this is coming all the way from the mountains. It's like, what the hell? The moon was red so many nights, it was ridiculous. I remember that. But it just felt like one of those normal things that happens in Australia. But obviously the bushfires were so worse. I remember donating to like the firefighters who were fighting. Like any time like I would see one of those things. Because it's like, it was really bad.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because like the entire world was like, "Fuck, oh, save the bushfires," and then like a few months later, no one gave a shit anymore because a fucking
It's just
pandemic
it
was
just wasn't
spreading
the
across
result thing anymore.
like everywhere. Like all of a sudden, this bigger thing
Yeah.
spreading, and
Like little
no one gave
things
a
at
shit
first,
anymore.
and then bang!
yeah,
Just got hit.
and it's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy.
Look a video of someone's going back in time to tell their past self what's going to happen in 2020.
Yeah.
Right? And they made a part, and they mentioned like Australia's on fire. And they made a part 2 where they went back to right after the last one was there, and then the past self was like, "Is Australia okay? What?
Yeah. You know,
oh yeah, right. Because it was just that
Yeah.
long at that point.
you know, it was really bad. This is how I know it was really bad. It's because Americans that I knew came to me and was actually asking me about the bushfires. We get bushfires every year, keep in mind, but that just shows you how really bad it is that Americans know about it.
Yeah, those were really bad ones. But then again, no one gave a shit. A few months later,
By March, by like early March, because we essentially we're all going to uni. I remember I had essentially 1 week of on-campus learning before everything just got shit on, and we all went into like the first lockdown.
I was lucky. I had a few weeks.
Yeah.
I had like 4 weeks. Oh man, and I'm pissed because those 4 weeks were genuinely like one of the best times I've ever had. And then COVID just like, fuck you. I was like, okay, okay then. It was fucking shit.
Yeah.
But it was what it was.
You just kind of had to suck it up. I wasn't gonna stop uni just because of it. I still want to finish uni when I'm 21. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, next year I anticipate the next year it'll be
I remember like
much better.
every single semester. I remember every semester I would always apply for on-campus learning. That was the one thing. I always applied for on-campus learning. The amount of time I was actually on campus was so poor.
Yeah.
So poor.
I think next year it'll be... the reason I think it might be a little bit better next year is simply because now people are vaccinated more.
Yeah.
So now I think policies will be more willing to let us in, but we'll see. Who knows what could happen. But
different strains.
Yeah. I remember when the different strands like first got really announced. It's because it's the Omicron variant, right? And like everyone in my family was just going like, "What did the Greeks ever do? Why is it called the Omicron? Why are we being blamed now?"
Well, it's your fault for all your words and letters being used in science.
It did it because of the several outbreaks locally.
That was weird. There was actually, because I have a school on my block here. There was an outbreak at the school, which is the closest I've ever come to someone who's had.
Closest you ever came.
Shut up. Closest I've ever came to an actual person with COVID. Like I haven't really known many people to actually have COVID, especially people I would know on like a personal level. I think some of like my extended family has had it, but other than that, it's like, yeah, I don't know anyone. And at this rate, it's just kind of just been more about like safety, making sure like, especially with getting your doses, you have the bloody anti-vaxxers and all that stupid shit. It's like, I'm getting the dose to protect my family. I'm not just getting it because I don't need it or whatever. I'm doing it to protect people. And that's the thing that's like, don't really get. When people come out, like I remember like someone and like an anti-vaxxer asking me like, why did I get the vaccine? And my answer was simple. It was for family. I went to go see my grandparents. I've been going to see my grandparents like every week now, especially since I finished my second year of uni. I keep going to see them. It's more safe for me to go.
Yep.
Especially with their obviously not in the best condition themselves. I don't want to make it worse. Even now, it's like it's been weird because like one of the most annoying things is like going to shopping centers now because you always have to like fucking like link in to each and every store you go into.
Yeah.
It's the most annoying shit. I hate that because it's like, okay, what if I don't have my phone? What if my phone dies?
Well, you have to manually sign in.
Well, that was the trouble when I went to get vaccinated, actually, because my phone died. It was just fucked. It was just fucked.
Yeah.
It barely charged, so I had to like strategically time its charges to go in, and it was a pain in the ass. And I feel as if it perhaps was a bit unfair because some places didn't have sign-ins.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit bullshit, especially for older people who don't have fucking smartphones.
Yeah,
And my grandparents don't.
Yeah, like what my family did is they got their things, they like printed it small and they laminated it, and they just put it in your wallet to have.
Yeah.
So that's what they did because like obviously they're not gonna fucking pull out the MyGov or whatever the app and go, here, look, I'm ticked in. Like, yeah.
My MyGov app won't connect with my Medicare, so I have to not only when I sign in, I'm like, here, I've signed in, and then I have to go and pull up the online version of my certificate as well.
Oh jeez.
It annoys the fuck out of me.
That sucks. That honestly sucks.
Yeah.
But there's one of the more curious things. Like especially with uni, it's like how the hell is uni gonna do it? I assume a lot of unis are gonna make it. You have to be doubly vaxxed to be on campus.
Go to fucking Get a Target, get one of those like custom print T-shirts. I'm gonna put my COVID certificate on my black white T-shirt.
Alright. I guess that works.
It's like, "Hey, excuse me, are you vaccinated?" Like, pull my shirt up like Superman. Like, yes.
Even
I'm
still.
almost tempted to. It's like $25.
Yeah. Lockdowns felt really weird, especially our last one, because like that was in like a mid-semester break. We weren't in lockdown, and then we just by the time like I was going back to school, another lockdown happened, and that was our last lockdown. And it was just like, oh my god, and it lasted for the whole semester as well. So it's like, for fuck's sake.
And I know it broke a lot of people because like there was that part where it was all good and we were out and we could do stuff, and then suddenly just bang, we couldn't anymore. And I know a lot of people fucking broke.
It's no surprise that was that one semester we had. That was my favorite semester at uni. Every other one, nah.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I deferred for most of it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't handle that kind of environment.
Honestly, it's gone to a point where it really makes a year feel longer than it is, to the point where the first half of the year feels like an entirely different year than the second half.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like they're two completely different years.
It not only does it feel like that, it's also strange to think that 2022 is like a week and a half away. It feels like it's been so long, but the fact that it's 2022 is days away is also wrecking my brain.
Yeah. Like, I'm grateful at any time, like during summer, especially 2021 summer, that we got to at least spend some time together.
Yeah.
I was very grateful for that. Like, that was like in a little good stint of us being safe, secure, and it was nice. And we got to be together, do shit. It was alright. And like even with like in between, because I remember when I went into hospital for other reasons, that was at the end of our second last lockdown, and one of the biggest things about that was you weren't allowed any visitors.
No.
Yeah.
And I was in the hospital for about 3 days. And that just sucked. That honestly sucked. I was basically there. Like, I had nurses to talk to, and the nurses liked me because I was self-sufficient.
You were not an issue like some of the others.
I wasn't an issue. Yeah, that's essentially what happened. I wasn't an issue, so they liked me. And like I was one of the hardest things, of course, being in the hospital, especially after having a surgery, was getting up after it. I got up at like something like 5 a.m. or even like because I had like a needle in my hand. The needle coming out in the middle of the night and my hand bleeding all over the bed for about 40 minutes until I realized.
Oh.
Isn't that fun?
Very.
Yeah. But even still, in the hospital, the most draining part by far was just I wasn't allowed to have visitors. Yeah. I think that hurt more. I even had to like check in by myself, and it's like my family's concerned, my family's worried, my family would text me every kind of couple of hours to make sure I'm okay, or not, or even when I got the chance to talk to them, like that was one of the biggest concerns as well, is like, I'm going into surgery, where the hell do I put my phone? Normally I'll just give it to my parent or so whoever's there with me, and then they'll just bring it to me later. It's like, oh, where do I put my phone? So, it was a lot less stressful because I did get my bag like essentially as soon as I woke up, and it was all fine. But still, those 3 days just sitting there, me opening up Disney Plus on like the screen I had, just watching shit while I had my phone with me as well, and I was reading Mashal. Like that was the second time I reread Mashal. It was just such a random thing I was doing, just in there for 3 days. Like, yep, next. It was just very weird, very annoying. Ugh.
There were also a lot of people who, like, even people we sort of know who, like, they lost people during the 2 years. And they did us couldn't visit. They did us couldn't visit.
Yeah.
And other
Alex.
people got injured.
Alex.
And,
I just mention that.
Yeah.
It was the start of 2020. My grandfather was in the hospital.
Mm.
and I visited him every single day. Okay, maybe not every day. I missed maybe like once a week
Yeah.
due to just couldn't make it out there. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was pretty far away. But I would go there every single day and visit my grandfather. Lockdown and restrictions kicked in, one visitor per fucking patient, right?
Yeah.
So even my grandmother, who was staying in the hospital with him, had to leave the room for someone else to come in.
That's horrible. That's just horrible.
It was fucking awful. I got to visit him twice more before he died. After the restrictions kicked in.
Yeah.
And the funeral happened.
Yeah.
And
Funeral.
only 10 people were allowed there. I was the 10th. My dad was number 11. He had to drive me around. I had to get out of the car and he'd just be parked down the street while I was there at his funeral.
Yeah. Like, even with me, I went to a
family
funeral.
members were parked and were just in suits, just watching from a distance because that's all they could do.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
I went to a funeral and I think the restrictions were a lot less. Kind of, they were more open. So I think it was either 100 at the time or 50. I think it might have been one of those two. And like, we were more last minute kind of guests to it because it was my cousin's grandfather who died. So my grandfather's brother-in-law who died. So I was just kind of a little bit of an extension right there. But because like I'm old enough, as well as my brother, we were able to go, and like it felt very weird. I'll say that much. I haven't gone to a lot of funerals in my life, but it did feel very small, and it felt very hard, especially like obviously seeing like family members cry and whatnot. But even that, just to know what's going on in the world, kind of made those events harder. Like, I remember like hearing all about like people like restricting their weddings or moving their weddings till after. I know about like 2 people in my own family who were supposed to get married but couldn't because of COVID.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like they'll get married eventually. I mean, one of them was planning on eloping anyway. They haven't done it yet because they were planning to do it overseas. But, you know, randomness.
Going overseas to get married.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those crazy things because, like, the COVID and all that, it was an event that sort of leaked into literally everything.
It changed
Everything was affected. Every single aspect of life for everyone was affected in some way. No one wasn't affected. I think that was like the craziest part.
And even more crazy, and even moving forward, because of this event, things are different. Like, one of the things that is very different is some of the holidays, because like the only holiday I ever go to church for is Easter. I haven't done any Easter mass in 2 years because of that. And like, one of the things to get our communion, we essentially the priest essentially has his wine. He has a spoon, and like he dips it in, and he essentially wipes it off with a cloth for everyone. But it's like, that's not going to really fly in 2020, 2021, because all he's doing is like wiping it essentially. It's like you're gonna need a bunch of disposable spoons.
Wiping it off, he's fucking mixing it in.
Yeah.
No, you need those sport bottles where you. Well, you don't even need a sport bottle, but the ones where you don't need to put your lips on anything.
Yeah, but like
you just squirt it inside.
Yeah, we just kind of stopped having communion altogether because of it. The only time I went to church was for like the midnight mass to get the flame and whatnot, to get the fire of like protection, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Other than that, it's like
I haven't done that in years, man.
I do it every year, and even then, like my mum's been also more lenient on us fasting these past two years because of it. I still did it, but I think she was a lot more lenient, and she's like, you can just do it earlier than what's needed. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, moving forward, I don't even think we're gonna have communion anymore. It's too annoying now, especially.
It'd be interesting, and I think people are now like, are now like more like I'll be honest, I never sanitized. I never used sanitizer
Yeah.
or anything. And then as soon as Corona hit, it's like okay, time to do it.
So half the reason I do use it.
Should begin to use this. It was crazy.
The only time I would actually use it is like when I was like out with the boys or whatever, and like before I eat. That's the only time I'd have sanitizer. Like I always had sanitizer, but like that was more like when I was eating something, like when I was out. If I'm home, I can just wash my hands.
I've been using the sanitizer around because it's free and why not?
Yeah.
Like it's a virus that we're trying to protect against, and the sanitizer gets rid of germs. It's not exactly going to be that effective, but it's free hand sanitizer.
Yeah, why not?
Like,
If it's free, might as well.
you just gotta pay for this shit, and I just hand them out at work. Don't tell my boss. But I've been going to work without my mask because I know they have some there for us, and I just can't be bothered bringing my own. Like, I'll just take that, and I'm good.
There you go.
Free shit. It's there.
Yeah.
They're paying for it. Well, it's coming out of my paycheck. If you're listening, Gihan, you're awesome. Anyway.
I don't think he is. One thing, even over the past 2 years, I think going out feels different than any other time. Because I still haven't been to the city since essentially January of. No, we've gone in like I think March or May. Like May of 2021 was the last time I was actually in the city.
Last time I went was with you guys during that time we went.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Hopefully we'll do it again this year.
Yeah.
I'm also going to try.
I think we'll be able to.
I think it does seem like we might be able to. Hopefully.
I think Chatty's been a good bet because Chatty tends to.
Honestly, I've stayed away from Chatty. I've stayed away from that area.
That's a really good idea.
I've stayed away from that area. I haven't gone there. I went to bloody Knox, I told you. Which is so far out of the way for me. Instead of going to Chatty.
I lived right next to Chatty for a while, so it's always been there.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
I always preferred Southland though, so I went there anyway.
Oh, Southland's great too.
Even just going to movies now. Ugh.
I mean, when I saw No Way Home the other day, that was the first time I went to a movie in a very long time. I mean, even when the restrictions were lifted a lot, I didn't really go because, I don't know, I didn't feel like it was any good. At the very least, the one I went to a few days ago was a Whoop Whoop one, so, like, there were not many people around me. So, except my dad, but other than him, there was no other person around me.
Big man.
So it's like, well, it wasn't too bad, but if it was something like Chatty, Monkeys.
See, I actually want to go to the movies again very soon to see the King's Man.
The King's Man.
And after that, there's only one movie I want to see in cinemas, and that's Film Red. Yeah.
We could watch Superhero in cinemas.
Oh yeah, we could. Just don't forget about that one. I always forget about that.
Since we're keeping up with the Super together now.
Oh yeah,
Super.
Yeah, see, I've not been following that in the slightest.
I've seen little clips.
I don't want to know anything about it. I watched that trailer, and that's the last thing I'm gonna watch.
I've seen the newest stuff that. Because it's an extension, you get to see a little bit more, especially of the 3D animation that they're doing.
Yeah, it's pretty good as far as 3D animation goes.
Yeah.
Of course, it's movie budget 3D animation, so it's obviously not pretty bad.
And also Dragon Ball.
Surely we go to Caleb's and we can go to that Wolf Book cinema and watch Superhero.
I do not think they'll have. I don't think they'll have anime. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I mean, the Broly movie was a huge success when that came out, and that was
When's
everywhere.
it coming out?
Well, it's April in Japanese cinemas, so I suspect late.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
Late next year.
They're not gonna have it listed yet. I thought they would have it listed. But yeah, who knows? Maybe.
Otherwise, it's Chatty.
Now that I think about it, one of the hardest things, especially in lockdown, was hairdressers.
Imagine getting your hair cut.
Yeah.
Well,
Lol.
it's kind of put me in a way where it's like, I only get my hair cut now twice a year. That's it.
I'm averaging 0 times to the hairdressers a year for the past 3 years.
If obviously the main reason I went back to short hair because it's summer. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, bro, the amount of downsides to long hair annoying the fuck out of me.
imagine
it's like
having
one
long
of the
curly
biggest-
hair.
One of the biggest reasons I wanted to not get my hair anymore is because hairdressers cost like I go there every month
Mm.
and they cost $20, and I just don't want to spend that money. Maintaining this shit costs more than that.
Honestly, some hairdressers have increased their amount to $30 because they've lost so much.
Which is fair on them, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
criticize them on that. But also, but it's not helping my case.
Yeah, but
Shampoo and conditioner-
hairdressers were definitely one of the ones that were so affected by by COVID. Like, there's some professions where it's like, oh, you can just work from home. My brother who has a professional job has been into like the office probably a handful of times, and that's it. And by handful, I mean like 3 times.
It's still a hand. That's in your hand. There are 3
Yeah. But that's like still nothing. In comparison to him, the fucking working 5 days a week, it's like just ridiculous. He hasn't bloody left the house. Get out. Go to work.
And have you?
Where would I go?
I was about to ask when was the last time you left the house, as if you weren't here yesterday.
Yesterday. Before that, would have been, I think, last Wednesday.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's one, yeah. That's when I robbed Rebel.
Rob too?
Rebel, remember I told you?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
I got $80 off something I didn't need to be $80 off.
Well, it's the marked price. If it's marked, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's marked. And when they scanned it, it was 180. Doesn't matter. The sign said 99. Give it to me for 99. They gave it to me for 99. That's okay.
It is what it is.
Online shopping, though, I've become more accustomed to online shopping. I feel like a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Most of my gifts have come from online shopping. Like, before COVID, I would do the occasional online shopping. Now I've just done it so much more. It's my go-to now. I look at online before I look anywhere else, usually now. I prefer going in and buying things myself because I get the joy of finding things. But other than that,
when that's not possible.
when that's not possible at all, and you want to collect things like manga, especially me with my Mashu manga that comes out.
On one hand, it's better to find things in person. On the other hand, if you find a Minotaur, that's like $3 more and shitty sticker yucky shit on your manga.
Yeah.
Is that a price you're willing to pay just for finding it in person?
Yes.
And you don't have to fucking travel. You just click a button. No, well, just wait.
They have to travel to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bring me my comic book, sir.
Yes.
Bring me. Yes. I mean, I bought Caleb's gift in person. I bought Alex's gift from Amazon.
Oh, nice.
And honestly, your book should have come on Saturday, but because I also ordered something else for a present for my brother's girlfriend, they just put it together, and it came on the Friday. So it came earlier than it was advertised. It's like, okay.
One of Time Magazine's top 10 graphic novels of all time, possibly the finest piece of comic art ever published in a popular edition. It's literally just a silhouette of Batman and lightning. But
Yeah,
okay.
iconic.
Wait, Stephen King said that. Okay.
That's a comic book I don't even have. It's weird when I buy things for people and it's like, I don't have it. Here you go. I didn't buy myself one day. You need more DC in your collection.
I'll buy something for someone else. I'm not particularly a fan of it, but now that I've spent the money on it, I could just keep it though.
Yeah, I know, right?
Never been big on me into this, but when I bought the DVD, I'm like, I could keep this. I don't have to give it to someone. I could just keep this. I didn't, but I could. That's why I have the Nichijou anime. Like, I could.
It does feel kind of good that, like, Christmas feels like we're able to spend it normally. I mean, Christmas is only in a couple days.
Let's hope nothing fucks it up.
Yeah. If anything fucks up...
I was honestly ready for, like, a call to work on Christmas. Figured other people wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm working full overnight over New Year's Eve.
Jesus.
Nice.
Which will give you plenty of money, but it might
Honestly,
be a problem when
I've never celebrated New Year's. I don't see the point to.
I mean, I don't celebrate it in a big sense, but we'll get to. I don't mind.
It's an excuse
getting together
to hang out
with family and just relax.
Yeah.
To me, it's just a relaxed day. It's just you chill. You just chill. Don't worry. Just have a.
I don't know, man. New Year's stream sounds pretty good.
That's true.
Me doing a stream on New Year's, that sounds pretty good.
New Year's Day?
New Year's Day, yeah.
What time?
I don't know. I don't know, I'm just planning to do a lot more streams after Christmas. Especially leading into January. Fun.
You know what the problem is with doing the full overnight on Christmas, New Year's Eve? It'll be fine on midnight. Like, I might even be able to get out and look at fireworks all the way from fucking butt of nowhere. The problem is, we're next to a train station. People will be drinking in the city watching fireworks. They'll need to take trains home. We're right next to a train station. What do drunk people think?
Trains are funny.
They think McDonald's are good. So we're gonna bunch of drunk people at 1 to 3 a.m. coming to McDonald's like, give me 27 cheeseburgers, please.
What do you mean? When we're drunk, we go to Subway. That's our thing. All the Subway cookies.
Better on them because they don't have to make the sandwich. Like, oh, okay, you give the drunk men the cookies.
You bought so many cookies.
Bruh. It's gonna be fun. But hey, 225% extra pay plus the 20% extra overnight pay. So, you know.
Yeah.
Money.
You'll be like that poor girl at Subway.
She deserved a raise after what we did.
She got promoted. 100%. 100%.
It's like excellent.
Idiots come in and order fucking 50 fucking cookies.
Oh, fucking a dozen massive fucking boys coming in like, give us your cookie.
Again, this was while COVID was happening. We did this.
It's like, oh no, I'm gonna make so many large sandwiches. Cookie.
I was the only person to not eat the cookie. I didn't want one. I just watched you all eat cookies.
So many cookie. Cookie. We've somehow gone from COVID to cookie.
It's funny.
All sort of stuff that's happened over this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Events that occurred.
What else is of interest?
We can drink alcohol.
It's sort of
in one of the most depressing times in the world, we're all allowed to drink alcohol.
That's another thing that actually sort of annoyed me a little bit because like I'd been wanting to like, you know, during 2020, that sort of year, I had been planning to, you know, with my parents and other people, to go to like different pubs and all that. Go to pubs, and I quite enjoy that. But you know, COVID said no, fuck you.
Give the man his chicken parma.
I just want to, I just want to go to pubs, bro. Like what the fuck? You go to pubs. And it's good now that we're getting out of it. I wasn't able to go. Again, but yeah, it was annoying not being able to go out and have a drink.
I mean, I was actually supposed to go to America this year.
Lucky you didn't.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I was meant to go.
So any
for
American
America.
viewers, we don't mean you. We just mean your country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
maybe a few
well,
of you.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Just one of those things. It's like I was meant to go to America because like my dad turned 50, so that's just like 50th birthday. He was meant to go to America because he always wanted to go to like Chicago to see his family in Chicago. Whatnot.
Chicago.
Ah, okay, I see.
But obviously, we're not allowed, so and it doesn't really seem like they're motivated to go anywhere. I mean,
Well, hopefully you can go see the family up there
eventually, yeah,
when you can, yeah.
yeah, when I can, yeah,
Or
because
better yet, they leave there and come here.
yeah, because literally like a decade before that, I guess, uh, when my dad turned 40, his present was we got to go to Europe to see his family in Greece, which was a decade ago. Keep in mind.
Well, yeah, that's yeah when he was 40.
Like on
now he's
20
50.
in 2019, I had some like family, like three family members from Greece, because it's so rare for people from Greece to come to Australia. When they came to Australia, it was for like a wedding or whatnot, and like I remember like going through like the house that they were in and whatever, and like a bunch of family were like meeting there, and like I remember my cousin telling me, I didn't know who you were. I knew everyone except you, because I had changed so much in the bloody like 8 years since then. Because keep in mind, I was what, I was 11. I was 11 and then I was like 17, so it was like the big jump, big jump, big jump. I wasn't little. I was 10. I was 10. That's right.
And seen my, it's not too far extensive, but my extended family in a year and a half.
Is this the ones that are on the other side of Australia?
No, not them.
No.
Fuck them.
Okay.
To any of you guys that are hearing this, no offense, just haven't met most of you. Okay, to be honest. No, I mean my mother's side,
Oh.
Greek family. Yeah, love them all. Hadn't seen them in a long time, and I've been invited to my cousin's birthday to go see them. Oh, so much has changed, and they all still give a fucking shit. My mother wasn't invited. That was the best thing, honestly, best fucking thing. But it had been so long since I'd seen them, and so many of my younger little cousins. Like, I had a secret handshake with what I assumed to be like my 5-year-old cousin. Bitch is like 10 now, and I've just completely messed up time, and he's speaking fluently, and that's really weird.
That is the one thing, right? I've had a cousin who was born, last year, and it didn't feel that long ago. I've seen him once. Keep in mind, like this is a second cousin, and it's like, damn, he's already 1 year old. What the? When did that happen?
Right?
Where was I?
This kid turns 15 and he's already doing all this shit. Something's better than me, which is wild to me. I remember when he was born, bruh.
Yeah, that is one of the things. Like the fact that I remember when some of my cousins were born, it just makes me feel old. And then when I talk to them, it makes me feel older. They didn't know Bob. They didn't know Bob the Builder was a puppet. Like the puppet, like the claymation shit. They didn't know the Bananas in Pajamas was live action before it was a cartoon.
Of course they wouldn't, but it's still weird to think
It
about.
makes me feel old.
We're only fucking 19 and 20 and we're having these existential crises at our age already.
Just feels weird, man.
And I don't know if I dislike it or if I'm just amused by it. But after you've met me, I may not be as big as you, Ethan, but I'm a pretty fucking tall individual. So after seeing them for a year and a half, you can probably guess what everyone's reaction was.
So tall, you're so
Oh
tall.
my god, you're so tall! You've grown so big! I remember
so
you were
big.
knee high.
Most people to my parents ask, what are they feeding me?
Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah.
Like, is it from... Like, where'd your height come from? Is it from your dad's side? Still no, by the way. My grandfather on my dad's side is small. Is probably less than Caleb's height.
I have no clue where your height comes from.
My dad is the third tallest in my family. The two people that are taller than him are his two children.
Where the hell did this height come from? That's the...
But I love one of my cousins. He was far more honest to me than the other ones were, and most of my other family was. He's like, I want to say something, but I might be rude. I'm like, what? I don't give a fuck. He's 13, but I'm still saying fuck to him. I don't give a fuck. It's like, yeah, you've gotten really fat. Ah, thank you.
Oh god.
Bro, he's 13. He's fucking acting like he's 16.
He's
Fucking
13.
what kids, man? I don't.
Yeah, man.
Take the insult.
Once again, my fucking girlfriend, 20 years old. I can probably count the times on my hand she said the word fuck. And that's less times than my 10-year-old cousin did who said fuck last time I met them a few days ago. One kid, man.
The one thing as well, being in lockdown, I honestly forget how tall I am.
Because you're not around other people.
Like, the shortest person in my house is my mum. Everyone else is over 6 foot in my house. I'm the tallest still, but it's like, I'm only tall, not by that much. Like, it's still obvious that I'm the tallest.
Yeah.
But then I go out, like, especially like when I was out, like, doing Christmas shopping, everyone is so short.
Yeah.
I forget that I'm so tall. It feels weird.
I was the biggest one there, at that party. To no surprise to anyone, mostly me. Everyone's so small.
Even then, like, I still, regardless, I still probably wouldn't have gone out that much, even if COVID didn't happen. But I think it's more the fact that it did happen. I wasn't able to make a lot of new friends in uni. I didn't get a lot of more uni experiences. And now I'm just stuck, essentially, doing second and third year subjects. Without any real big experience for uni. I like the option of going out, rather than going out.
But yeah, because when you choose those goals, like I don't really feel like doing. But if you ever did, you just can't.
Yeah.
Even if you never were going to in the first place.
That's right.
It'd be nice to choose for yourself if you can go or not.
I've just been stuck here. Just better than a prison cell, though. That's one thing. There's one thing I haven't noticed. Do like people in like prison and stuff? Have they noticed changes, or have they gone through changes in prison towards COVID or whatnot?
I imagine their guards would be wearing masks.
Yeah.
I imagine guards wearing masks and maybe a little bit more social distancing when they like get lined up and stuff.
I don't understand why the prisoners would at any point they can't unless they. I don't know how prisons work. I'm kind of fact I've never been.
Yeah, I have a basic understanding because I love escape from prison stuff.
But what am I thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking. It was if all your prisoners are in the same place and they can't leave and they don't have any contact outside of guards, then there's no reason for them to social distance between each other.
Yeah.
So the real difference would be the people that come in and out.
It's the guards and like
I mean, if it's secure enough, like why the fuck would you need social distancing? If COVID's getting in, then I think that's more of a problem with the fucking prison itself.
Yeah.
Being shit than it is the prisoners not social distancing.
But it still just might be that precaution or not.
Perhaps.
The precaution that should exist is making sure that any visitors that come past the COVID test. That would be my biggest. That's what this is. If I don't know shit. So this is what I'd imagine. But then again, what I think would be most efficient and what is most efficient is not usually what the people in charge do. They usually do what's most profitable until it's.
That's true.
Until people start dying too much.
One interesting thing I always thought about was like with prisons and specifically if someone gets arrested for a crime that later on gets legalized, they still have to serve out their time. But in all fairness, it's because at the time when they were arrested for that crime, they knew what they were doing was wrong and against the law.
At the time. Yeah.
At the time. So it kind of carries through. But I do have to ask, do these people do they go for appeals? I imagine people would appeal.
They have to plead their case, I imagine.
Yeah, they'll have to plead and appeal for whatever. Even just to get a lesser sentence, maybe. I don't know. It's just one of those weird things about prisons.
You probably
That's,
could.
that's,
I
that's,
reckon you
the,
probably
that's more the legal system at that rate, at that point.
Schools have changed immensely since COVID. Like I've seen some schools in
I'm so
America, like
glad we
everyone
got
has their
out
own
of
like
year
shield.
Yeah.
Our uni experience is fucked, but
Yeah.
at least we got out of year 12 fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would've
the
been-
stories that we heard from like people we knew doing year 12. Oh, that was so shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, in uni, I have the option to defer for a bit, and I can
Yeah.
complete the course at a later time. I don't know what the fuck I would have done at high school.
I like, and even the fact that I don't know anyone, it still works out fine. I can still do stuff with uni and still work through it. It's just with my course specifically being a design student, having no one to talk to or no one to kind of compare with and do stuff. That I resorted to essentially talking to Alex's girlfriend because we were doing similar subjects.
How do you sit detention?
That tension. Oh shit!
I'm just thinking. What would wait? How, you just wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
You
You wouldn't be able to.
You know what? You know what? You get suspended from school. You get fucking the teacher blocks you.
Yeah.
They might be given like extra work. I don't know how detention
Yeah,
works
yeah.
and how they do it because like obviously I live right next to a school, so I understand like when like schools in and out because I see them like pick up and whatnot, and I do find it fascinating like how things change in different schools. Like I saw in America, like everyone had like their bloody like desk shields. Like there was so much learning from home that just feels like some people just got disadvantaged because of it.
Yeah.
Like in grade 2, I had about 50 substitute teachers because my main teacher was always sick. So instead of giving us a different teacher altogether, they just gave me sub after sub after sub after sub because it was easier for them. And because of that, it kind of left me in a little bit of a detriment later on in like primary school. I got over that, but it's still lockdown. I imagine is something very similar to that, where
I'll
you're
tell you
missing
what,
out on a lot.
The teachers,
Mm.
because my dad's mate, he's a teacher.
Yeah.
And he was saying how it is fucking hard for teachers,
Yeah.
very fucking hard, because in the online class, they are sometimes just talking to a screen
Yeah.
because everyone's got their webcams off. No one's really talking.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who's engaged. He doesn't know who's following. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
And he has to carry that. And if he's feeling down, if he's feeling shit, he can't. He has to come. He has to turn up. The kids, they don't have to. They don't have to turn on the computer. And he was saying how it's
Yeah.
fucked for teachers, even more so than the students, because
in
again,
uni, like the
they
amount
have to show up and they have to carry the entire class.
in uni, the
doing
amount of
stuff.
times like I've heard a teacher say, "Are you listening? Are you here?" Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Can someone respond? Blah blah. And just like that, just the relief on their face to know that like, someone's listening.
Yeah.
We're there. Kind of put them at ease a bit.
Yeah, I'm complaining about the learning experience, but by no means am I complaining about the teachers. That's
No.
Yeah.
If anything, they're fucking legends for continuing what they're doing. Any
I
teachers out there, fucking
this year alone, I actually had a teacher who I love. I loved him. He was amazing. He was such a Chad as well as a teacher. Of course, at the beginning, like in my first semester of uni, it was really hard because they weren't prepared. And I think that kind of shit on everything because they weren't really prepared. Other than that, I think the rest of uni, they've been better at preparing themselves to be in and out of it. But that first semester really shit over everything. Like, in my first class for one of my classes, like, why did you choose on campus? And we gave a bunch of reasons, and then like the next class we had was online, so it's like, well, that's shit on, isn't it? Also, the one thing even about uni is like the change in how you address people, because you yourself is an adult, so you don't say like Mr. whatever, Miss blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it's their
Like,
first
hey.
name.
Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. I love Jeff. Andrew, you know.
Yo, Todd.
Andy,
Help me out
Tom.
Yeah, it was even more when I was doing the Latin class, it wasn't too hard because the guy wasn't that much older than me, so it was like okay, I don't have too much of a problem not calling you sir. that being said, you are still the instructor. So
Yeah.
that like part of me wanted to say professor.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think he was a professor, but
Yeah.
part of me just wanted to say that.
None of my teachers are professors. So
And
it's fine.
in the Italian class, sometimes I would call it professoressa, which is yeah, it was interesting doing that. But yeah, when they were younger, it was easy.
Yeah. I'm used to it now, but it's still thinking about it feels weird.
Back in the day, it wouldn't matter if they're older than you call them sir.
Yeah.
Back in the day, now
sir.
no one gives a shit.
I even
No,
asked
no
to
one
call
gives a
some of my
shit.
teachers, so.
That's because you're expected to be an adult, so.
I know, someone
talking
calls
to
me
them
sir, I'll be like, you what?
Sir.
I don't know.
Hello, good sir.
Well, good sir is different from sir.
Yeah, that is. I say good sir all the time.
I call people good sir.
Good sir. Yeah.
You know what? You want to know something very stupid? I came downstairs today. I have a fly swatter on my window, on my window thingy, on my windowsill, whatever. I just had the fly swatter there because flies have been annoying because I've had my window open. I come downstairs and there's just a fly sitting on it, so I just pick it up and just flip it the other way again. That was my morning.
Ironic.
I submit. He just submit coming. One thing that has been very interesting to see is how different manga was affected, or even like comics as well, because they've just still been pumping out work, and I'm honestly partially a little bit impressed that they've been able to do that. And obviously, over the years, we even lost a couple Chad lad mangakas themselves. Rest in peace, Kentaro Miura. Yeah. Sad.
What am I hearing?
Mm.
Oh, the Woolworths fucking truck outside. Someone's online grocery shopping. Online grocery shopping, man.
I have not done that.
Yeah.
That's a good segue. Thank you, Mr. Truck. Oh my god, it's us. We did online shopping. You're coming here.
I haven't done online shopping. I haven't done grocery online shopping.
I tried to, but there was less variety because it only shows some specific brands.
Yeah.
As opposed to what's in there. That's why I don't do it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I absolutely fucking would.
I don't think I would either way. I think my parents and other people in my family just they prefer going out, enjoying, seeing what they have. They can check the quality themselves, and not just get ordered something that could be shit.
Yeah.
That's the whole gamble. It is a risk.
When it comes to food, you want that security.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially.
You want that guarantee.
Perishables. I mean, this year we're hosting Christmas, which hasn't been done in since I was 12, 13.
Yeah, because when you work in this shit, when you pack it, you'd have to do first in, first out.
Yeah.
So the earliest there, just because you just do that. That's just how it is. You're not gonna give them the newest thing every time, and have something get stale in there.
In 2020, I grew out my beard. Right, I grew out it twice. I did I shaved in July, and then I didn't shave till December. I did 2 little skits of not shaving. So I had a full beard that went to the bottom of my neck. And one of the things I learned, especially over the time, anytime I had to wear a mask, especially, is how hot it is to have a beard and a mask. People complain, oh, I can't breathe. Try having a bloody beard. It makes it so much worse and sweatier.
Just shave, lol.
I do. Now I just go with my stubble. But, seriously, it's sucked ass. Sometimes it just makes it hotter for you. It's...
All sucks to have a beard.
Caleb.
Well, imagine not.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You know.
I mean, I didn't. I mean, there were, obviously there were problems having the beard and.
Question.
thing, but
You know, Alex, in that meme you sent in the Kiln chat, where it's like all podcasts have the same people hosting it.
Oh, don't you dare make me say who's who.
Yeah, who's who?
I don't have an answer.
Well, I think it's obvious Caleb is the one with the biggest beard there. I myself had a mustache for multiple times throughout the year, so that makes you the last one with the big nose.
What that makes me. I know exactly what that makes me. I knew what I was. I knew who everyone was when I sent it. Okay. I knew exactly what I was doing.
Hey, why am I the least? I'm the least memorable one. He's a good man, but he's least memorable.
That was the doorbell. Then just that was because they went back and forth in the truck. They didn't do so. They did more than one trip. Big Woolies workers.
Woolies workers.
And it's mostly, as far as I can tell, they're all wine bottles. They're asking for my help.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you're going to give me a few minutes because they're a bit heavy. Yeah. Apologies.
He's gone. He's left us. It's just
he's gone.
us.
He's left. It's just us. Oh no.
We are the winners. One thing I think that has been hard is keeping a job and also getting a job. Especially now.
You see, I haven't even tried.
I try all the time. It's just nothing ever really turns out of that. It's just so shit because like everyone's applying at the same time. So many people have lost their jobs. It's so hard to get a job, even if it's just like a part-time job. Like the only real good way to get like a job these days really feels like you have to know someone. And even then, I still didn't get the job. Bullshit.
I mean, but I think that's with. I mean, tons of people lost their jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, primarily from certain
Small
areas
businesses a lot.
just not working.
Yeah.
Some businesses. I mean, I'm thankful that the business near my house, the shop near my house, it's
stayed open.
it survived. Thankfully.
Well, you had the luxury of being in like a very small set little area where people can kind of congregate there, and like they're kind of like they do feel a bit like the heart of your little community you have up there. I will say.
Bro, it was crazy because I mean, now it's more back to normal, but I remember when COVID first came, it took them a bit to sort of get their bearings with it.
Listen to me very carefully. There were about 12.5 bags, right, of all these groceries. The heaviest, there was one bag, and it had a single cherry ripe in it. That is all.
Who ordered a cherry ripe?
Probably, Rachel.
Okay. A
single cherry ripe inside of one whole plastic bag.
A single bar.
Yeah.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one. In one bag.
Yes.
Oh.
What's Ronaldo packed that?
The legend.
With the other bag.
This is the.
The legend. That's who did it. The legend.
What cheap? In one bag. Put them in one bag.
Yeah, okay.
Mamma mia.
That's hilarious.
What were you saying when I came in and talking to you?
I don't.
What were we saying?
We're talking about the little
jobs.
The
Jobs,
little
people
business
lost
thing.
jobs.
Yeah. How people lost jobs. Go, man. Yeah.
Business shut down, which was a shame. Big shame. I mean, I don't think any of the businesses that I go to got touched.
Excuse me.
No, none of the ones I go to got touched at all. But they're too big to kind of get touched.
Yeah.
And they have too many stupid, dumb weebs wanting to get stuff.
I think the only one that was sort of close to changing was Games World, but that just moved around the corner to a bigger store.
Yeah, even Minotaur moved.
Did they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're around
you
the
don't,
corner.
you don't know. Yeah, Minnesota moved to it's way fancier now. They got instead of fucking a downstairs like underground, which is cool. Like going downstairs to a whole like a nerd haven. Now
Yeah.
they've got glass windows and shit. They've showed things out. Like here's all the new releases.
Is
Here's
it at the
this
very
special shit.
least not as cramped?
Yeah, it's much bigger.
Yeah.
I think Ethan will have a problem just because of that, just because of the obvious. But aside from that,
Fuck's sake. I haven't been there. I still haven't been there yet.
fuck Critical Hit. I've been there like a half dozen times.
Critical Hit's
I
tight
love
as
Critical
fuck.
Hit.
I love it too.
It just
They're so good.
even all three of us cannot function.
What was that one place? What maybe it was Critical Hit? I can't remember. There was one place.
It was around the corner from Minotaur.
It's on a side street.
Yeah, what was the one where like there was no sign?
Yeah.
There was like barely. There was like one sign, and if you were going the other way, you wouldn't be able to see it. And he went up the stairs.
Oh,
and
it was One Stuff Anime.
That stuff, bro. That was a weird shop. I gotta tell you, that was tiny. It was tiny.
I'm kind of glad, but honestly, I'm kind of glad we did that because we got to explore places that even I hadn't been to before. Like us planning for this shit and us going around, that was actually quite kind of cool to just see what other things and other stores have, and not just go to like the regular
places. We want to go to Mind Games next time because they're board game place.
Hopefully, we can do it this Jan.
And
we're gonna do it this Jan, then
I'm
gonna start.
not on a Sunday.
Not
I'm
on a
gonna get a bit of
Sunday.
exercise if I'm gonna be walking around the city.
There's a store at Udon Place that isn't open on Sundays, and I love it. It's cheap.
I don't think we would be going on a Sunday. My birthday is on Monday, so it would be maybe sometime. I have to look at how the weather's going.
Sometime.
I don't know. Depending on like what you boys are doing as well.
Whatever you want. I can't do Tuesday overnight.
Yeah, obviously I know. Yeah.
But other than that, I can work around anything. It's nice because as a casual worker, when you get a shift, you go to that shift, or you have to call someone else to take your shift. As a part-time worker, unfortunately, I get paid a little bit less per hour, but I get more shifts anyway. I can say, no, I just don't want to do this shift. And I just click no. I get no problem with that. There's no repercussions for saying no to a shift, so I don't even have to block out days. I can say, no, I don't want to do that actually.
Interesting.
But you just don't get the money for it.
No, of course I don't, because I don't go.
Yeah, well, there you
The
go.
one downside. I don't get the money. Look at the money, man.
I press yes every time. But if I got my the scheduling is therefore much more flexible around the job because of that.
Speaking of money, Patreon.
Yeah, join me.
No, join us on our Kiln Patreon. That's in my thing, where you can get exclusive content over January, especially. Which I need to talk to you boys about later. But still.
Next up, OnlyFans.
Yeah. I'll run that one personally.
Yeah, do it.
For a tier 3 subscription on OnlyFans, you get unsolicited photos of my nose.
Part of me wants this to be a reality now.
There you fucking go.
The amount of times I've genuinely been tempted to get OnlyFans for the only purpose of posting photos of me doing random shit is unnaturally high.
That's essentially your Snapchat story.
Yeah, it's already my Snapchat. So
Let's just do an OnlyFans one with more suggestive pictures.
Maybe I'll show off my ankles. Who knows?
Oh.
Oh.
Clearly, we've got something. But it's this dumb shit, which is the reason why I'm tempted to, because it's just funny as fuck.
It's funny.
Excuse me, you have an OnlyFans? Yeah, you want to see my fucking ankles, bro?
Oh, God. That might be a bit too suggestive.
I'm writing a note here. Alex only fans.
Bro, if someone's paying me.
I wrote the note. God damn. You know what? Even in COVID, with a lot more people at home, of course, streamers have gotten a lot more views, and they've thrived in this environment.
Bro, fucking YouTubers, man.
Mm.
They fucking had risen up to popularities over fucking night.
That being said, some YouTube channels got a bit fucked in some way because, especially the ones that normally are together, and then they're just not. That sort of touched them a little bit, but
somehow it was interesting to see how like Mr. Beast kind of like went through it, because his content kind of stayed the same, or even more went over the top in some areas over the year, and it doesn't feel like much had changed. So it was kind of alright to see their content kind of be the same kind of goofy, stupid shit that they do.
Yes, Mr. Beast. I haven't watched that guy in a long time.
I don't watch him. I don't watch him. I just I will sometimes just watch little bits of it and whatnot.
Oh, that's dodgy as fuck. So I'm on this dice website, right? And they have the dice, but it says $5 for these metal dice, and I'm thinking,
what?
$5 for metal dice? That's
cheap.
Pretty good. I click on it. It has
each
selections. Die. It's the D20 is $5.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just
Each
one
die.
dice.
So it's like, well, it's not $5, is it? Because I mean, I guess some people might want to just buy the D20, but I don't know. I'd like to buy the entire set, personally. But yeah, that's a bit dodgy.
Honestly, when I was buying swords yesterday for my studio, I'm now calling it a studio because I'm a designer. I'm cool, Also, the stream and shit, because when I do my solo streams, I'll have my camera on. So the swords will be in my background. I'm thinking I think they're gonna arrive sometime in the middle of January, so I might do like a little stream with them opening them. But even just looking at the swords, I went to go look and it's like, oh, these swords are $30 or whatever. No, this sword is $50, and it's like, oh, these swords are $50, and it's like each one was $50, so it amounts to like 200 something, whatever. Okay. It was just some stupid. There's so many of those I saw.
Is that 28 per D20?
Yes.
No,
excuse me.
20?
No. Okay, 28 for all of them. Some it's all of them. Some it's just not.
What about $100?
Oh no. How much is this? Is this $4? But is
$100 for one D20.
Oh Jesus! No. They were making one. They were I don't know if it'll be $100, but I was watching this thing where they were wanting to make this dice that you roll, but it updates online. I don't know. I personally wouldn't do that. But it was interesting to see. Oh, hang on. Is this 17 for the D? No, 17 for all. That's not bad. But the problem with metal is like, if the metal hits the table and it's wood, I mean, it might be not bad. But I don't know. Metal and wood, maybe. Depends how heavy they are. Ooh, I like these.
Have you guys noticed? Have you guys noticed anything that like either you do weird because you've been at home more, you just do weird shit without thinking, or you just notice?
Do weird shit without thinking.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of times I just do things on instinct, like I take my plate and I was gonna put it in the fridge or whatever. I'm just brain dead while I just draw or whatnot. Sometimes I'm just out of it or just tired.
I don't know.
Did you have anything that really like got you through kind of COVID, or even just lockdown in general?
I'm about to be gay for a second. No, it's yeah. You seeing your intimate partner was never a problem. So I saw my aim every week pretty much through lockdown. So that was,
no, that says intimate. You weren't intimate.
And regardless, I still did it. So every week I guess, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Plus you could always miss Joe.
Mine only really started at the end of last year. started in November and has been going on ever since, and that would be me drawing. I think drawing's just kept my mind off things. Whenever I'm just in my downtime, all I'm doing is either sketching something new, doing stuff for the kiln, or just drawing. And because I'm drawing all the time, which I'm going to probably slow down as soon as 2020 hits to more focus on Patreon. So please subscribe to my Patreon, where I will be focusing a lot more attention to, especially in 2022. God, that sounds so weird to say 2022. Or even just me doing research for that. Christmas is on Saturday. That feels weird.
Ooh, caltrop dice. You know caltrops, like the things you throw to like.
The things we do while we stream.
Oh yeah.
They've got dice. They've got dice that are like them, and they're cool. They're like spiky in the end. Ooh, I like it.
Send it.
They're cool. And the numbers aren't like unreadable, unlike some fucking dice, where the numbers are tiny. These ones are quite big and they stand out. Though the style, I suppose, would be a bit. Anyway, I love how we get sidetracked on these streams. It's quite funny.
Huh. Yeah, it's hot in the kiln.
Oh, it's been real. Of course it is summer. It's been real hot recently.
Honestly, it's gotten hotter, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like I remember,
I wonder why that would be.
Well, I mean, we had a couple of stints of days where it was honestly cold, windy. It was raining, like thunderstorms.
Yeah, I had a couple of days of just thunder and rain.
Yeah, and then it just rose down.
Which you all saw.
Well, no, I didn't. That's the problem. So the problem is I didn't see that. That was the entire problem with.
Oh yeah.
No, we were quite lucky. We didn't black out that often.
Yeah. Even like sports had their troubles over the past 2 years. From what I saw, I didn't see too much about sports because obviously I don't give a shit.
The 2020 Olympics and 2021.
Yes. Wonderful.
That's the only thing I give a shit about sports. They did the parade they do at the start where all the countries come up with their flags one by one, everyone that's competing. So like the massive crowd and audience and shit.
Yeah.
There was not a single person in the crowd. None of the seats were filled. These people were parading around with their flags or cameras.
Yeah.
In a massive. It was weird.
I thought it was funny because alright, they were parading around. Alright, because COVID's still a hot topic at this minute. There's been a few problems, whatnot. And just to see some countries come out with 2 people. That was brilliant, honestly. Some countries come out with 2 people. I see Australia, I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Why do they have so many people? Why? Those stupid shitheads.
Because we're like sport with the footy, and then the footy isn't in the Olympics. We're like the footy.
Footy.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. I mean, I'm not into footy, but
no.
A lot of people were, because their precious footy wasn't on. I suppose it's fair enough.
It also it felt more weird to even just because I don't watch sports, but people in my family do. So when I would walk past just to see the empty crowd, and when they score a goal, there's no cheer, there's nothing.
Fucking Wii Sports. The crowds there.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as the ones in sport nowadays.
Yeah.
They're just fucking paper boards that just do not react. Just there to fill space.
It was always funny to see how different crowds did things, either just have cardboard cutouts of people and whatnot. Or even some game shows were more targeted towards being at home and doing shit like that. It's just interesting and fascinating to see the different problem solving, the situations and different places that people seem to be in at the time. One of the things I always like to hear about was I just thought it was funny. It's because like when one of my family members was in Sydney, and because that was when Sydney was like at its bad moment, and it's like, oh, why aren't you wearing a mask? It's because I'm from this place. This place, the place I'm working in has the restriction. I'm actually from that place. I'm from that sector, so it doesn't apply to me. No, how's that? What logic is that?
That's why they're fucked.
That's why
Like,
they.
oh no, the rail break is like 3 blocks down the road. It doesn't affect me.
Yeah, doesn't affect me. You know what's always annoying around this time? They always do roadworks for like the Westgate.
Oh, that does remind me. There was an entire whole ass fucking building in the CBD. And since I didn't go outside for most of it.
Yeah.
Lived in the city for a lot of that time. To me, when I went back there, an entire building just fucking apparated, pretty much. Because it was not there before. And they built it under our fucking noses.
I know, right?
To look at it.
Like, usually sometimes that happens because you haven't been somewhere for, like, ever. And it's like, things can change. But, like, when it comes to, like, things with more recency, it's like, things have changed. What the hell? Where did that come from? What?
I will not be able to name every building in Melbourne. I can only name one, if I'm being entirely honest. But, like, you're just looking at them, and then there's this whole other fucking town. Like, excuse me? Where? When? That's probably when. But where?
Bitch, where?
Being on trains. Did you notice any real big differences on trains?
Lots of people on them. That's about it.
That's not really different, though.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know that much.
The only real big difference... Obviously, we got a new train recently in our, thingy. I hate the trains, though. I only like one train, and that's because I don't hit my head. One train. Every other train, I hit my head in. But other than that, like, the only real big thing I noticed was, like, actual, like, people going through the trains wiping shit down. That was the only real big difference I saw at train stations. And, of course, like, wearing your mask at all times and whatnot while you're travelling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's that. The announcements and things. When I click the button at a bus stop, they're like, the next route to your mum's house is in 7 minutes. And the next route to your dad's house is in 32 minutes.
You know,
that is where a fitted mask for your entire journey.
You know, that was an interesting outing Alex and I went on. That was an interesting outing Alex and I went on to the One Piece Cafe.
Oh, yeah.
That was in between our last quarantine and our last lockdown and the one before that. That's when we went. And I was still recovering from being in the hospital.
Red hair shake.
Red hair shakes.
That's
Caleb is banned from going in that store.
Bro, you can't. You just... Bro, I'd be iffy for anime only is going to that store.
Nah, anime only is
I don't particularly care.
You know what? I ate the death mushroom, and I survived. That's what I ate. That's what I ordered.
I ate Shanks and he liked it. I slept him right up.
That was a weird monstrosity that you got.
That was a meal in and of itself. I'm not ordering that again. That was a bit much.
Yeah.
His haki was too strong.
I had nice green tea there. I had nice green tea. I felt like Zoro a bit. I felt like Zoro and I felt like Kirilluk.
Jesus.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. On eBay, there's this one place selling for $30, like 105 dice.
Oh, take it.
But I'm trying to. Is that genuinely? I assume that is all 105. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
The same die or all different?
No, they're all different. They're all just an assortment.
30 cents a die or some shit.
Yeah, it might be. It's like how good of quality is the die.
In the worst case scenario, they lied to you and you lose $30.
What's this? Oh, that's okay. I completely forgot that. I completely forget eBay exists until I remember. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. eBay.
Oh, hang on. I hope it's not coming from China.
I do feel like me collecting shares very much slowed down because of COVID.
Yeah.
But now that it's ramping up again, it's like, ooh, I can buy shit. Ooh, I can get shit.
Not the same for me, I'm afraid. I bought a lot of shit during COVID.
The only real things I bought was Mashal. Pre-ordered till Volume 5 currently. My 3 volumes on my shelf. Alex.
Bitch. At least I have 26 volumes of Black Clover. What are you gonna do? Where's Volume 7, bro?
It's nowhere. That's where it is. Can't even get it.
I love when he tried to pull out Volume 7, and then he pulled out Volumes 5 through 9. Fuck Minotaur, man. Yeah, great for everything except those stickers.
It's sad.
I hope next year I hope to go back to the city and just have a look at some of those places, see what there is, get a bubble cup. Oh, I hope that store's still running.
There
are a lot of bubble cups. Yeah.
Not just bubble cups.
But that particular one, like no one's been going to the city, so who knows? We'll see.
To your one.
That's a very strange thing of anything that can become popular. Is bubble tea.
Yeah.
Way more popular now than it was 2 years ago. They're fucking the stores there for those shits are everywhere.
Yeah.
On any street in the city, there'll be somewhere that sells it.
Yeah. Even like the last time we all went to Chatty, like that was the last time I went to Chatty with all of you, which was a long time ago. Caleb looking for his bubble tea.
Yeah, every time we go.
That was literally one of the best days when you told me there was a bubble cup shop there. When I'm like, okay, well okay, I don't have to.
Everyone else went to go look at shoes. We went to bubble cup.
I love every time I go to chat with Caleb, he's like, where's bubble gum?
Where's bubble cup?
And because us two are usually the ones that are early, we usually go there and come back, and no one's there yet, and he's got his bubble tea.
And I generally get lost. No, okay, so we have to meet outside Woolworths, and I show up. And, I can find where bubble cup is.
Yeah.
I didn't find bubble cup. Okay, I could find where Woolworths is. I can find fucking Woolworths. And then I had to message Alex. Where am I? I don't know. Apparently I was close.
Yeah, you were close to Woolies.
Yeah.
Bubble cup. I don't know where the fuck I was going. I used to know Chatty quite well. I used to navigate it quite well. And then I renovated it, and I have no fucking clue now. I still have no clue when they renovated it. I can't navigate that shit. I can get to Zing, and I can get to Games World. And EB Games, I think.
I can get to the entrance. I can turn left.
And then... Can I navigate to the KFC?
I mean, the food court is
Once you go to EB Games, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because the food court didn't really go any.
No.
Did it? No.
It changed floors.
Part of it.
No, there was 2 food courts. One was removed.
There used to be a massive one.
Yeah.
The massive one.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember the massive one.
Back when it was before they renovated it. That's when I think my last memory of going to that Chatty was I went there with Jack and I bought Halo, and the pants I was wearing, the pocket just perfectly fit Halo into the pant pocket. And I was happy because my pants was perfect. And then they renovated it.
That's what you remember.
Yeah. Buying Halo and it fitting in my pants.
He fit the Halo in his pants.
When I bought Halo, you could see it's the hard one into my pants.
Yeah, you know what's been really hard? I've noticed personally, Christmas shopping in stores has been
And when I get home, I'm
incredibly
gonna
hard.
play with it all night long.
I think Christmas shopping in stores have been really hard. Every time I've gone somewhere, there's nothing good.
Yeah, true.
Maybe your standards have changed.
No. The standards are still the same. There's less of everything. And like I went to the reject store or like the $2 shop, and like for some reason, most of it was empty, especially the dog toys.
Dogs, who needs them?
The dog. All the dog. There's no dog toys. This is the weird thing. Christmas time.
We
time for
wasn't-
stupidity.
And that's another thing that we did over the lockdowns. Mainly my dad was growing chickens.
Chicken. Chicken.
I think the first ones he didn't buy fertilized. We had the rooster fertilize them,
Oh.
and then these ones, they died. Some of them from the dog. But these ones he bought, and I was amazed to find out you can buy fertilized eggs, and they will be delivered to your door. You can also buy fish, and they will be delivered.
Fish.
Live fish, not food fish. Oh, they can be food if you want. They're alive.
Coolworths.
After those fucking mad. What like you just like the fish comes in the mail, and it's and they're alive. They're not dead yet. You know, if I get a bit hungry and then
Sorry,
but
that one said, the fish comes in the mail!
and the eggs that come in the mail, you put them in the incubator, and they become chook. But at that age, they're popcorn chicken level. You gotta wait for them to become the tenders.
Okay.
That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for.
You
The other ones when they retire. Okay, not my grandmother, my great aunt, right? She'll if her chooks stop laying, if they retire, well, chicken's on the menu. That's what she does. If they don't lay anymore, and she offered my dad once to come over if the chook weren't laying anymore to personally get rid of them.
Yikes.
Then they have the Kentucky. If my chook stop laying, Kentucky time.
Alex, you're a social bird. How has being social in quarantine?
It's not so much like not being able to go out. It's the moment you can go out, everyone's going out. So when the lockdown ends, it's like, alright everyone, let's hang out. And suddenly the entire fucking week, it's like, alright, Monday afternoon this guys, Monday night these guys, Monday morning Tuesday morning these people, yada yada yada, and I just have to fit in every fucking group that I hang out with within the next 3 or 4 fucking days.
Yeah.
Wild. That's the biggest thing for me. And I do hang out a lot, but I'm not as extroverted as I try to present myself to be. I get burnt out really fucking quickly. Bro. It fucking gets there sometimes. That's the biggest thing for me when it comes to socializing in lockdown.
Well, I feel like in the group I'm one of the biggest antisocial ones. Because Caleb's also a bit antisocial, but at least he goes on and like plays with the boys more than I do.
Depends who it is, but
Yeah.
that other chat they added me to, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
But if it's in Yoink, it's okay. Okay, hang on.
I'm just
Part of it is whether I can be fucked or not.
Yeah.
I don't even check our Snapchat group because I cannot be fucked with Snapchat. Yoink, if they send something in Yoink, there you go. But Snapchat, I don't care. Put it in Discord. I'm looking at Discord. Fuck Snapchat. Shit platform.
If it's important,
That is
ask
it.
me. Other than that,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. I can't be bothered. Especially sometimes when it's just shit I don't give a shit about.
And then you add vacation.
You at Vagesh, but he doesn't respond at all.
Nah, he's the most antisocial, I reckon. You can't reach him. You can't reach him.
And not being able to reach someone doesn't make them antisocial.
Yeah.
Nah, I think I'm the most
I guess,
antisocial.
yeah, he socializes with the Greens Party.
Oh yeah.
Fair point, fair point. Ooh.
Yeah, it was funny because a few weeks ago, there was like a family gathering at some fucking place. And like beforehand, I was like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to have a family gathering. We haven't had that in ages. And then when it was happening, I'm just like, I forgot why I didn't like these. But just that starvation of it just made it almost looking back at them through rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
And then the realization sets in, they're not that good.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Like, I feel like a lot of us aren't really big on big gatherings of people.
No.
Because usually it's just like, oh, it's a
much.
party. I don't give a shit about a party. I never have.
You just come, relax, that's it. There you go.
Yeah.
Because even when we go hang out with young group, if there's sometimes too much, even when there's not, we kind of just go make our own group in the corner. Like, yeah, let's talk about fucking anime this time.
Yeah.
I'm still there, but even then,
That's why, like,
little subgroups.
It's calm.
I always get asked, well, what are you gonna do for your 21st? I don't give a fuck.
No, I actually want to talk about this one.
Just come, relax.
No.
Just come and relax. That's it. You come here,
No.
you put anime or a super war on, and you just relax. Have a beer, have a cigar, you just relax.
I have a thing
Okay.
about the 21st birthday.
No fucking pumping music and bullshit. You come, relax. Very nice.
I have a thing about like the 21st birthday. What the fuck is the point? Who gives a shit? We're not American.
Oh no.
That's my biggest thing. People say, oh, what are you going to do for your 21st? What's the difference? There's no difference. 18th is different because obviously you're able to drink in our country. So 21 means nothing. There's no difference between me turning 20 and 21. Or
Besides,
22.
even if there was, just have a few mates over and have a drink.
Yeah. That's what I want. Or even like, because with me,
That's
like,
all I do for my birthday.
Yeah.
My birthday is only an excuse to hang out with people. That's what I did earlier this year. I'd give
of course, but your birthday was
everyone's
fucked.
coming out. Oh,
Your birthday was
we didn't
fucked.
do that. We put it on the birthday, the day after
Yeah.
the birthday. I had you all guys come over, sit in there, let's drink and shit. And then fucking what's his name?
By midnight.
Daniel Andrews
By midnight.
on the fucking phone.
Yeah.
I was like, alright, so about your hangouts and your shits. Yeah. This snap lockdown, this midnight for 1 week, bullshit. For 1 week, everyone go home and
Yeah, it lasted like 4 weeks.
isolate. It lasted 77 days.
Yeah. Longer than I thought. It was very stressful at the beginning though. I think the first couple of weeks of that was hard.
I had all these cunts over, ready to drink the night away. Or just drink.
Except me, I ditched.
No, yeah, you
I was in recovery
But-
still.
Yeah, you just stay out of hospital. Right?
Yeah.
But it's okay, that was great.
Yeah.
So we're all ready to drink, but most of these people are fucking players. They need to drive home, right? So when it's a snap lockdown, by midnight, in effect at midnight, people have to be in their homes. Couldn't drink a thing, leave by fucking 11.
Don't worry, I finished off your
Boring.
Southern Comfort, but
you fucking picked up by your parents, bastard.
yeah, it's got the free taxis.
I mean, I embraced the last time all the boys were together by drinking.
Yeah, you went off. You went off your own.
I went off my rock.
And
I love the fact that like you hear stories about getting drunk. I was drunk, but I remember everything I did.
it's got a high tolerance.
Yeah, that's true. I have an inbuilt high tolerance because I'm a big
I
boy.
don't disproportionately forget when I'm drunk. I just forget that which I cannot be fucked from remembering.
Yeah.
And that's just like I can remember.
It's like my
when I'm
normal
drunk.
memory, right? I don't feel
Yeah,
any
exactly.
different.
Yeah.
All I do remember things like how hard it was to do some things, like walk in a straight line. Or even me saying goodbye to people and like saying goodbye to some of our friends' girlfriends by saying goodbye, sir. Just random things I did. I was just off my head. Which I was quite calm
Good
even
night, handshakes.
before we started to drink because I was just drinking bourbon. I was just in a good mood. I'm a fun drunk is what I learned.
Yep.
Oh, I don't I get very angry when I'm drinking.
No, you just become more Caleb, and that's just fun.
Yeah.
Hang on. You two have not seen me at my most drunk.
No.
We better.
The one I feel when I was at Phillip Island. Okay. When I get that drunk, I am just out of it.
Mm.
I am not angry. I'm not happy. I just don't know what the fuck's going on. I have no clue. That's it. That's it. I'm gone. I have to rehop up the stairs. No. I stood up for like 2 seconds, and I immediately sat back down. I stood up again, and everyone said, "No, sit the fuck back down." Oh, I love when I get that drunk. It's amazing. But I need a bottle of meat. I need a full bottle of meat. Oh,
Looks like their plans to go to Phillip Island again.
Yeah.
Next year.
Ugh.
Yeah, in Young.
Now,
I don't know about it.
okay, we can talk about that later. But yeah.
Well, much closer to when it happens, I think.
That's something to consider.
I think for that, I would probably go, but it would be depending on when it happens. Because it's
Late
maybe...
February is what it's looking like.
What? Late January.
Based on late February.
Late February. Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The only problem is like my uni tends to start a bit early.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that.
And I'm quite
If not,
busy
then I'm just,
during
then I
Jan.
just if I can't, then I just can't. It is what it is.
What it is. It does to the douche. That boo 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 boo.
That's for later.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'm surprised we got this far. I thought this was going to be a relatively short. I don't know. I guess
we could have made it very short.
But I thought it was going to be very.
I've been trying to
short.
avoid what we're going to do for our final one.
Because our tournaments have been pretty short.
Yeah. Tournaments are rather quick. Because this is a discussion. We can really just go off on tangents or whatever we want to talk about. I mean, we talked about jail for a little bit. But
I am going to have to go and do stuff.
Might as well end the stream then.
If you want to end the stream, then do so. Either way, I have to.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I guess that's it. See you all next week.
Good discussion. This turned out better than I anticipated.
Come next week for the final episode of 2021.
Can't wait, honestly. That topic for next week.
Oh, we're gonna be here for a while. I can already tell. I'll probably
It's just gonna be us jerking off the fun stuff we've discovered.
Yeah.
So let's be honest.
Yeah.
And it's great. Oh, can't wait.
I would also recommend, because I think you're the one who does the little 3x3s. I would recommend doing it on Monday night.
Monday night.
Because they're probably going to change a lot, even from now to.
Oh yeah, when I do them. Oh yeah, I was gonna do them last minute. don't you worry, I was gonna do them last minute.
Yeah.
I still don't have a night.
Feel about it no way home. Thank fuck.
Yeah.
It was gonna go on mine if not.
Yeah, I
can't wait.
It was Loki was there, and then I thought about it. I'm like, I can't have to put No Way Home. But that's no spoiler.
No, Anyway, thank you all for listening to this stupidity. After Christmas, I will be streaming a whole lot more, even maybe before the Kiln episode. Who knows?
Ooh.
So look out for more streams from your boy of random nerdy discussions with the chat. If I have a chat, I want a chat.
Unfortunate.
Shut up. That has been the Kiln episode 15. Later.
15.